Now that we're talking about your products, what are some of the products that you sell these days?
So my very first product was an ebook, as most people's first products were in 2000, what was it, 16, 17? It was an ebook. I mean, ebooks were like abounding at that time, and they're still important. But like at that time, it was like everyone had an ebook. It was an ebook, and it was called, oh my gosh, well, it was called Reclaim Your Joy. But I'm trying to think of the tagline because I've since learned that cute titles like Reclaim Your Joy are great, but if they don't really tell the person what they're getting into, then they're not as good. So my tagline was better than that, and I can't even remember. It was like Reclaim Your Joy. Oh, I know what it was. The Every Mom's Guide to Finding Gratitude in Life's Little Things. Something like that. Something that really had to do with how, the sort of foundation of my business, which was a daily gratitude list and inviting God into your day through gratitude. That was it. So I knew that I needed to have an opt-in. So I don't even remember what the opt-in was. And then a tripwire, which this was my tripwire, and it was $7. And that was the first product I made. And I thought, well, I think I actually thought like lots of people would want it right away, but that's not what happened, as is the case for most everybody, right? You have so many misses before you land on what really works in the end. Maybe not so many misses, but a few. So then you and I joined this group together, and we were going to learn how to do Facebook ads. And I needed to make this like a more beefy offer. I needed to it couldn't just be an ebook. It had to have more, because I needed, if I was going to run Facebook ads to it at that time, Facebook ads change all the time, but at that time it needed to be at least a $19 product. It couldn't be a $7 product. Otherwise it would be tough. If you were trying to make money, it would be tough to make money or break even on a $7 product. Again, this is like that time. Things change all the time. So I added some kids' gratitude journals to the product, kind of on a whim. But I knew as a teacher, like how to make things for kids and how to make things that were age appropriate. I wish I had you to tell me like, this is your skill, right? Like this is what, this is you bringing your gifts together. Like this is, do you like doing that? This is what you have to share with the world. But I kind of did it on a whim to like make this a more robust product. And after I did that, then Facebook ads, they worked well for me. But I don't think anybody was buying that product for the ebook. I doubt anybody read that ebook. I think, and I didn't even know for sure, but I had an inkling they were buying it for the gratitude journals. So that's when I decided, okay, this is maybe my product. So like it came from a fail, because now my best-selling product is digital kids gratitude journals. And it came from like a fail kind of an ebook, or just trying to make a product into a better offering, and then realizing, oh, that's actually what people want. And then taking a tiny gratitude journal and making it into a larger one, and then making it into different levels for different kids. And then that's how the rest of the products sort of snowballed from there. And then it became, okay, I like making things for kids and moms, and I'm good at that from being a teacher, right? I'm basically differentiating gratitude journals, and giving you giving you ways to do gratitude depending on what learning style you have. Within your gratitude journal, you can have activities where you're up and around. You can have activities that have to do with writing, with drawing, with all the different multiple intelligences. So it's like taking what I knew as a teacher and now transferring it into my online business. And then I would hear, well, we have this journal, but we don't have the time to do it. Like we can't figure out how to fit it in the day. So then it became like, well, what's in the way? Like, why can't you fit it in? And it's like, well, I'm spending all this time, picking up, or on like just routines or systems that are like taking us forever. And I'm like, oh, well, I can help you get your kids to help you pick up around the house. because that's another thing I'm good at. And I can also help you with systems and routines because I used to run a classroom. I can system and routine you all day long. I can't run a business very well. I mean, I need help running a business. I run a business well, but I need help running a business. But I can help you like systematize something so that you can do it faster, better, and prettier any day of the week. So then it was like, oh, it kind of just like snowballed. So it just goes from that one idea you have in the beginning that might miss the mark a little bit or might be right on. But if your eyes are open to learning from what that's telling you, then you can really kind of get into the nitty gritty of like how you can serve other people.
I think that's so true. It's such a windy road to figure out where you're supposed to end up. And I love how you were taking the information that you were getting along the way and listening to your people and then giving them what they were asking for.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. It's hard. I mean, I'm not saying that I was always super good at that or knew right away that that's what I was doing. Looking back, I can kind of sum it up that way. And that is exactly what was happening. It just was probably more jumbled in my head at the time.
I love your story. I love how you used your teacher knowledge to build out some of these best-selling products of yours. And even though you're not in the space of the internet where most people would think that teachers go, most people would think education-based products, your products are for families, but you're like you said, you're differentiating them for different ages. You're using the skills that you cultivated as a teacher and applying them to the products you're creating. So there are so many opportunities out there. There are so many places that teachers could go in trying to make their own businesses and build their own products.
Yeah, there's so
I
many
just love
things
that
you
story.
teach in a day. You are also teaching kids to be grateful or to notice the good that's right in front of them or to, you know, you're you deliver disappointing news even in the classroom sometimes and you're teaching them how to like navigate that news and how to like find the positive and move on, whether it's like a skill that they're not getting and they're frustrated. So I feel like there's just there are so many teachers have so many skills. I mean, I used to say like I'm a nurse, I'm a lawyer, I solve arguments, I kiss boo-boos, I teach you how to read, I teach you how to share, I teach you how to be a good friend. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just so many things. I teach you how to look on the bright side. There's so many things you're doing in a day as a mom and as a teacher and as a woman that when you can decide like which ones will kind of light you up and go in that direction and also base it on what people are telling you that they need, but not just on that, because then you could end up in a spot again where you're doing, you're responding to what people need, but you're not really in your wheelhouse.
I love that. I think that's so true. So what do you enjoy about your business these days? What lights you up? What are you excited to work on? What do you like doing?
I like my whole job. I really do. I think the business side of things is really hard. So, business, strategy, numbers, budget, um, spreadsheets. I can make a really pretty spreadsheet. I don't want to put things on it. I need somebody else to put things on it, but I can make it. Um, those things are very hard for me, but they're offset by the things that I love, which I love creating new products. I love designing. I love thinking about how to, make another mom's day better from gratitude or simplifying or just like loving the space that she's in more than she does or seeing the good that's right there in front of her that she might be overlooking. I love words. I love communicating. So I love the parts of my business that allow me to design, be creative, and connect with other people. So that is why one of the most exciting things for me right now about my business is the subscription that I've started because it just launched in January, so it's only been going for a couple months, and I love my whole business. I love that it's growing. I love that my email list is growing. I love the little bit of feedback I get because, as you know, I would love more feedback, because I will just respond to that with things that will help you more. But the people that we're serving are busy. And so providing feedback is hard. I don't provide a whole lot of feedback. I try to, knowing how much I appreciate it. But I'm so excited about my subscription because, first of all, I like consistency. And that is one thing that is kind of hard to find in online business. Consistency is a little bit elusive, and you have to kind of get used to that. But with a subscription, I can consistently show up and consistently provide, what I say I'm going to provide each month. And I'm really excited about the opportunity. I just think it'll give me, it's like makes like kind of a larger business a little bit smaller in a way that I feel like I might be able to like get to know the people in my community better than I can get to know my whole list. I'd love to know my whole list, but everybody doesn't have time to just like check in and tell me how things are going. But this small community of people in the subscription, I'm so excited about, just like continuing to over deliver things each month and see where that takes them. And it's fun when, you find something that you're really excited about. I'm really excited about figuring out how to focus on what matters in a day. And there are other people out there that are excited about that too. And so it's fun to come together and then, like we were saying earlier, like share ideas. Like, what's your gift? Please share it with me. This is mine. I'd love to share it with you. So I'm excited about the subscription. And I really do love my whole business. When I think of going back to work full time in the classroom versus doing what I'm doing right now is a lot less predictable and it's a lot less consistent. It requires me to learn a lot of new things and stretch myself, but it is more flexible than the classroom. That's a blessing and a curse sometimes. Sometimes, because it's more flexible, I'm working strange hours, but people that are more disciplined than me don't have to work strange hours. That might just be me.
About how many hours would you say that you work per week?
I would say that varies.
Mm.
In a time where I have a product coming out for Lent, I'm working a lot right before that. On a typical week, you know me, I'm a slow worker. So, and a perfectionist. Not the best combination of things. So I would say I work a minimum of 20 hours a week. But it's hard. I'm having trouble telling you how much I work a week because I have 3 kids in 3 schools. I spend 6 hours a day getting someone out the door or welcoming someone back in. So I work in between that. And so I couldn't necessarily tell you how many hours a day I work, but that's what I like about this job, is that I can do those things and I can work. I'm gonna say minimum 20, probably more like 30, but a lot of that's by choice. You know, I get to choose how fast I want this to grow or not, um, which is nice, which is a good thing about online business.
I agree, and I think that's kind of the beauty of having your own business is that you are your own boss. You can decide when you work and how you work and what you work on most of the time.
And sometimes that can feel like a lot. Like I don't want to say like, oh, I just like it's so easy to
Mhm.
decide to go to muffins with moms or to like spend 3 hours every morning getting one child or another off to school. It's not always easy by any means, but at least I have the choice. I mean, I am choosing all of this. Even if some of it's hard, I'm making the choice every day to do this and to set it up this way. How many hours do you work a week? Do you know?
I say max 25. Like you said, if I have a big something coming up, I might work a little bit more than that, but I really don't have more than 25 hours a week to work because my kids are not even in full-time school yet. I have my youngest is home with me almost all the time. Sometimes, my mom will play with her, but she's with me. My son is only in preschool 3 days a week right now, so I really don't have more than 25 hours to work. And I've been able to use those 25 hours,
You use those
I
hours really well. We both wake up early, right? You wake up early?
Mhm.
I think I wake up
Yeah.
early too. I'm not a morning person and I wake up early because that is like a predictable time that I can wake up
Mhm.
and everyone else is asleep. I don't know. I guess I just squeeze in. I feel like I think I probably feel like I work more than I do because I'm always trying to like squeeze it
Yeah.
in between the other things that I have decided are more important. So this is, I actually, I mean, I really love my job and my business. It's important to me, but of course, my kids are more important, and my husband.
Of course. Of course. Yes.
We'll put him in there too. He doesn't need as much help as they do, though.
I would love if you feel comfortable sharing, I would love to also talk about how you've used this skill of yours that you have cultivated through your business of designing things and creating these beautiful sales pages to now help other people in their businesses because I think that is so awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about. Like, as I started doing this, I realized, well, when we first signed up for that class together, where we were doing Facebook ads, it was a course. Um, I thought that course was really intense and hard, but so wonderful. I mean, it was the best decision I've made for my business so far. Which was really to invest in my business. You know what I mean? But the part I thought was easy, the part I loved was the creative part. I loved designing the Facebook ads and I loved writing the Facebook ad copy. When she talked about that part, I was like, oh, okay, I get this. Like like we were saying, like some things come naturally, some things do not. I mean, there were other things about that Facebook ads dashboard and the ad strategy and such that did not come naturally to me, but I felt like, um, and I knew that that was the part I liked doing. I didn't really know that I could be paid for that. Again, not business minded. So a lot of these things I have to like be told. It wasn't until the person who runs that course actually reached out and said, hey, will you come back for the next course and will you help people design? Like, I'll pay you to help people design their ads and write their ad copy. And I thought, me? Like, you'll pay me? I really thought, like, I don't know if I'm good enough for that. Like, I really like doing it. And I thought, well, let me try. Like, sure, it sounded really fun. I just hoped that I could live up to the expectations is really what I was thinking. So I thought, okay, so it wasn't really until someone told me, hey, that's a skill that people pay for. And if you're willing to do that, then people would pay you for it, It's so funny. There's so many things we're all good at that we don't realize that somebody else, it's valuable enough that someone else would pay for it so that they don't have to do it so then they can do the things they're good at. So that was kind of how that started. So I started being a mentor in this course and helping people with design their Facebook ads, design their sales pages, and write their copy. All things I love to do. And then it kind of snowballed from there. After there, became a little bit more known that I was designing or writing for people because it really matters. I would say there's a few things that really matter. Your email list really matters. Kind of having a clear, like, step-by-step, like your opt-in, your tripwire, your product, even, it takes a while to create all those things, but just sort of having at least a rough plan of what you're going to do. And then, and I knew this, but I mean, I knew it was important to know networking is always important, no matter what you do, right? If you're a teacher, networking is important. If you are, in some other kind of business, networking is important. But it's kind of hard to do in the online space because I'm sitting here at home in my my playroom office, and there's no one here to really talk to or network with, right? So you really, even if it's out of your comfort zone, which it was out of mine, putting yourself out there and like joining a course that also has a Facebook membership and then like going to that Facebook page in that membership and commenting on people's things and asking your own questions, even if you're like, oh, is this an obvious question or an obvious answer? Like, putting yourself out there and like making friends in business is just so important. I had no idea the value of it, but that's how I got started designing for people and writing for people. Was I designed and wrote for one person, and then within that group the Facebook group that I was in, it became a little bit more known that I was designing and writing for people. And so then people would ask me to do it. And if I had never been active in there, um, if I had never commented, like I would sometimes comment, that ad looks really great. I think maybe if you moved the text like to the top left corner and then put like, I would give like little tiny comments on people's ad creative while I was in that course, because that's what we were doing. We were all in this group and we were kind of working together. I could have just, kept my mouth quiet and not said anything in that group. And I certainly wasn't saying anything about business strategy. I let other people commented where they were good at talking and knowing things. And I was like, well, I really think if you switched that ad a little bit, like it would, like a little change would make a big difference kind of thing. And so putting yourself out there, like if I never would have done any of those things, then no one would have known that I liked to design ads and I liked to write things, and so that's kind of how that snowballed. So yes, now I write sales pages for people, I write website copy, I write emails for people, I design all kinds of things for people, sales pages, Facebook ads, hero images, actual products. Because again, some people have ideas for products and there's like the most awesome idea, but they're like, I don't know how to design this. And then they stop, it's like so easy to be like, well, I don't know how to design this. So I guess I'm stuck. And then there's someone like me that's like, ooh, I can actually do that for you. That part I can help you with. So that's the other part of my business, is that I design and write for other online business owners.
I love that. I love that you've cultivated this whole other marketable skill set that you would not have ever known that you had until you started making your own online business. I think that is so cool, and I want people to hear, like, of course, your business is your main thing and you take client work on the side, but it's like the worst case scenario for you here if you decide to try something and try to make your online business. The worst case scenario is that you cultivate marketable skills that you could then use going forward if you decide that this is not for you. Maybe you fall in love with it. Maybe you start a wildly successful business. Maybe you end up helping other people in their businesses. But either way, the worst case scenario is not failure, it's just shifting. So,
Absolutely. Yes. That's so, so, so true. Yeah. Because that has even, I mean, that has slowly shifted even. I'd say it's probably 50-50 now. Like I 50% work for other people and 50% work for myself. Um, and I never would have known that I could do that. I knew I liked graphic design. I knew, I love to be creative, but I didn't know there was this whole online space where people would pay you to do that because they have the ideas and they're great at running their business, but they're not great at making their things. And I'm great at making the things and not great at running the business. No, I'm not terrible. I've learned so much, but I like joke about it because it does not come naturally to me. And that's going to happen in in anybody who might be listening and is thinking like, I would love to start a business, but whatever you're about to say after that but, there is somebody out there that knows how to do it. Because I have had all of those after, fill in the blanks. I could fill in that blank with so many things that could have stopped me from trying this. And there is someone out there that knows how to do that and will help you with it, which is so great. I mean, it's so great. I've learned so many great things from this. And I love that you are using your, like what you're good at helping with, what you're good at helping people with is what you're doing now with Teacher Biz.
thank you. I appreciate that.
I wish I would have
It's
had Teacher Biz back in 2016.
it's so much fun. It is so much fun to take, kind of in my own way. I'm taking the skills that I love and now I get to talk to people about them. I get to have a podcast where I talk to my friends about business. Like this is so fun.
No, it's so great.
So
It's so
fun.
great. I love it.
I think we have to talk for a second about, and this has basically been our theme this entire conversation, but about the importance of business friends in this online business world. You were talking about it. I was talking about it. I would not have a business if it was not for you and Maury talking to me every day about, in and having these strong relationships of online businesses, because before my business was successful and making money, there were so many times that I almost stopped. And the reason that I didn't was because I was still talking to my friends about their businesses, and I was hearing that Erin was running Facebook ads and they were making her money, and I wanted to try that too. And all these other little things that kept me going. And I just think it is one of the biggest secrets to success in this online business space is having business friends in your corner that know your business well, that you can talk to about your problems, that are there to cheer you on when you have something hit, and are just part of, like, you're almost like my coworker, but our businesses are so separate, like
I tell people all the time you're my coworker. I'm like, oh, I
I
have two
like that.
coworkers. My husband's like, "Are you listening? Are you on Voxer again?" I'm like, this is. I'm at the office. I'm talking to my coworkers all day long while I'm sitting here designing. I'm talking to my coworkers the same way other people do when they go into work and someone's in the office next door. I will say that it did used to overwhelm me when I would listen to a podcast or read a post or something when somebody talked about like networking has always intimidated me, but like networking and like having friends within your niche or within the online space, because I really felt like, okay, I can see what I'm on board. I hear what you're saying, but like, how do I get those? Right? Like, how do I get those? And I didn't know the answer to that then. But if I had to tell someone the answer to that, I would say that you have to take some risks. Like you have to put yourself out there. You have to pay some money to join a course that makes sense for your business, but that also has a small online community. And in that community, you have to ask questions and you have to don't offer advice on every single solitary question, but offer advice in the area where you feel strong at advice, or just offer encouragement. Oh my gosh, that looks so great. I can't wait to see more of this product that you're making. Whatever it is, there's like ways, just really tiny ways that you can put yourself out there. And then like slowly that community will, it's slow, right? It took us a long time to become like you and I were in a larger group together. And then it took saying like, hey, do you want to start a Voxer conversation on the side of this larger group? What did we even say we were going to talk about? I don't even know. But like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Like you
Mhm.
have to.
And can I say, because we're doing a podcast interview right now,
Yeah.
when you and Maury asked me to be on Voxer with you, my first thought was, "I can't do that. I hate my voice. I'm not gonna talk to them and make them listen to my voice all day."
How you?
That was my first thought, and I almost said no.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I said that in my first Voxer message, and Maury said to me, "Everyone hates their voice. Everyone feels that way.
So
Just
true.
keep going."
Yeah.
Imagine if I said no to that, and now I've worked through that, like, if anyone struggles with their voice, which I think we all do, talk on Voxer all day because it will help you. I've moved through that to the point that I have a podcast,
Now you
Erin. Isn't that insane?
That's insane. And I just, yeah, it's, you have to put yourself out there like elementary school all over again. And it is uncomfortable. It is. You just have to like call it what it is. This is going to be uncomfortable, but the benefits are worth it in the end. Just because nobody in my real life, not that you're not in my real life, you're in my real life, but like nobody in my, no one that I see in person on a day to day basis has any idea what I do. I mean, they know what I do. I'm not even good at explaining what I do. Other people certainly can't explain what I do. And they don't have any idea what the inner workings or the intricacies look like. And I can't necessarily say, like, I really can't ask for much advice. I can, explain things, but like, it's hard to give advice when you're not coming from the same spot. But like to have you and Mari, who I can say something to, and you know where I'm coming from, you kind of know what has worked or what hasn't worked. Nobody that I see in person understands what online business is, and that's okay. They have different jobs, but I have so many questions that held me up a lot in the beginning was unanswered questions and not knowing where to go for the answers. And so like building that really small, I mean, there's just three of us. So like Building like a really small community of people where you can just freely ask and answer questions is so helpful. I would never still be doing this. There's no way that I would still be doing this without like conversations, because like we said, like there's going to be things that you do and put your heart and soul into, and they are going to fail, and you're going to think that that is the end, or that there's no recovering, or whatever it is, and somebody's going to tell you, but what did you learn? But it looks like this went well. Can you build on that? Like that, somebody there to tell you to keep going. Because nobody in I say my real life, nobody I see every day, even my husband, I don't think he knows what I do half the time. I don't know what he does really either, so it's fine. But, you know, I'm in the
I
same
know.
boat.
I know.
I would not be still continuing. But nobody would. Nobody in their job that doesn't have coworkers will continue doing what they're doing. Same with teachers. You've got the teacher next
Mhm.
to you. I used to co-teach with somebody because even teaching felt like a little isolated in your own classroom. So then I started co-teaching with someone. We would share our students. We would pass classes between our two classes. We just asked if we could do it, and the school said
I
yes.
love that.
Yeah. So even then, um, just like working together with people is always better. But like you wouldn't continue teaching either if you didn't have coworkers or people in the break room or passing in the hallway to just sort of commiserate with, celebrate things with, and ask a whole lot of questions.
I love that. This has been such a great conversation. I think there were so many golden nuggets in here that people are going to learn so much from you and your experience. Before we end, tell everyone where they can find you in on the internet. Where can people find you and learn more about your business, your products, and what you have to offer them?
Noticethelittlethings.com. That's probably the easiest place to go because you can get everywhere else from there. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. Those are different handles. If you're starting a business, you'll see all your handles won't be available everywhere you're looking. So sometimes you have to get creative. So noticethelittlethings.com is the best place.
Perfect. And I will link to all of your places in the show notes for this episode, which is the thing that I'm going to learn how to do now, Erin, is make show notes for a podcast. I
Show
can't believe
notes.
this.
See, and that's like, I would love to write show notes. I love writing notes. In school, I was always like, oh, I'll be the recorder if they like needed someone to take the notes for the meeting. I don't want to run the meeting, but I'll take the notes.
And I wanted to run the meeting.
Yeah, see, this is why this works out so well.
So funny. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your friendship so much. I learn so much from you all the time, and I'm so glad I have you in my online business life.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for putting what you know out into the world and helping people like me who just have an idea or an inkling about what they might be good at, but know there are some other things they're not good at, like the running a business part, like teacher biz. There are so many teachers have so many skills. I'm so excited for people to listen to this podcast and find you, through your blog and your business, and be able to learn how to take those skills that they have and just like maximize them and share them with more people and just get to do more of the parts of their job that they like. Who doesn't want to do that?
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.